Hello and welcome to Trails to Azure Part 44. Today is continuing the chase of Randolph, or Randy as he has been called. We went down a rope that Randy descended, and now we're going through here. That should lead us to... well, we actually shouldn't be where this is pointing us, because we actually should be just south of the doll studio, and the tunnel's supposed to go all the way to here. We shouldn't, because this is where we went down. Like, we descended the rope here, so we should be over here, and this is going to travel all the way over there. But instead we're already there because the map doesn't actually matter, so it's kind of... it makes sense that it's already that way, but... what are these? Ah, they're larvae. Galm. Does that mean we're gonna fight a Galm? Good experience. Burst orb. Oh, I don't have the chest search, do I? Or maybe it's because it's not a map. Now riled, she swung open her hotel room door with more force than she was used to letting out. Perhaps she overdid it. On the other side, with a somewhat startled expression, hands behind his back, was Cyril. Yes, so I think the story where that last left off, she was about to run away to her true love or whatever. I want to question these being called larvae, because they're clearly pretty developed for being larvae. I'm just being way too lazy here. Oh yeah, I also checked. There's other evasion that's better than this, but... black boots. Forget orbital guns. Chests have everything you need. Lock, stock, and barrel. That's a great joke. I think that's high quality joke. I lose 10 evasion? No. Why would I ever accept that? I have to check if the range quartz applies to breath. I'm pretty sure it should, based on how arts work, but I'm not certain. Oh, where'd that rock go? The rock just disappeared, or it changed shape. Yeah, this is not what larvae look like. This is much too developed to be a larva, right? I wonder what the definition of larva is. Because when I think larva, I think like gross and goopy. Not, you know, basically a full mantis. You know what? This should be fine. Just button mash. I don't know why that's the target that was chosen by default. I think it's pretty questionable that that's the default target. Okay, I bet this monster chest is not level 100. Yep. Ooh, it's a real Galm. Or it's a bunch of real Galms. Oh, it's a Galma. Oh, they don't have a lot of HP, huh? That's good. Oh yeah, I want to see... yeah, breath is a little bigger this way. Nice. Oh, actually, Yeah, it makes Aerosicle wider too. Sweet. I like that. Range is actually a good quartz. It's not exceptional, but it is good. Yeah, that's actually pretty good. Wait, can she just look at them? No, I don't have that quartz on her. Actually getting that with like Death Spiral might be pretty useful. Come on, how does that not... How come I can't hit both with that line that I had? Sure, let's just do that. Okay, so they can be moved, which is good. Did that just proc the KO? The fact that I can move these guys is pretty wild, actually. Like, I'm actually surprised that these guys can be moved. Because that means I can sort of pull them away. Nice and easy. Detection quartz. I thought I already had a detection quartz. Oh, did I have it equipped on Randy? Wait. If I put a detection quartz on him... No, it's too low. But I definitely don't have a detection quartz. Let's see what happens. Does it apply if I have it on him? Seemingly it doesn't, but also it might not. It might just not be shown at all. Nope, it is there. There's no way this is the first detection quartz. Because it's almost chapter 4 out of 4 main chapters. I'd actually rather give... That's a 4-2. I think giving it to her would be better. Like swapping out... maybe the EP cut? Which is kind of a loss, but... switching the EP cut for a detection so that I can more focus on Mirage seems kind of fun. Because then I can get Galleon Tower. Ooh, Galleon Tower with a range quartz would probably be pretty good. Oh, I didn't read the monster chest. I have to remember. It took years to perfect my bellberry juice cocktail recipe. I always knew I would get over the barrier. Oh, I'm really glad they're making fun of the getting over the barrier component, because that's really annoying. Help us. Our channel has been occupied by the Red Chestellation, the strongest Jaeger Corps in all of Chester and Maria. That one's pretty good. I enjoy that. Cold Steel's going to be such a letdown. It's not going to have chest messages. I really don't know why they would remove chest. I mean, chest messages are probably a ton of work for barely any, like, actual value. Just one-off gags. But, like, I can't believe that the Cold Steel arc doesn't have proper chest messages. It's such a shame. Why'd that guy not... good enough, but... Why'd he not aggro on me? Bursto Hatsudo. Pretty easy. Cast 2, that's actually... free. Good morning, he stammered out a little too loudly to match Genevieve's fire. He then recollected himself in an... That's definitely recollected, not recollected. He then recollected himself in an effort to reset the mood between them. Would you, like to have breakfast with me? It's not an ideal scenario for either of them. Oh, these guys have a lot of defense. Or they have a lot of HP. I think they have a lot of both, actually. But they don't have a ton of HP. They just have, I guess, a ton of defense. That ricochet is incredibly dangerous. Let's... Galleon Tower's a little overkill. But I'd rather not risk death. Why did it have to move to the other side so that it got bounced away? Why? Wait, does she... Her attack seems to basically ignore its defense. Like, she's hitting for 1300. She's hitting for, like, full damage. Is there something that I'm missing about that? It's interesting. I mean, these turtles are actually really dangerous if you can't kill them. Like, if you had 8 of them and they just ricocheted a ton, you would die very quickly. Story of my life. I was placed here, I had that item put in me, you opened me, and then the chest is history. It's okay. I kind of think it would have been better if it was just story of my life. I was placed here, I had that item put in me, you opened me. And then just that, because that's all that their life has been ever and will ever be. The chest is history I don't think was necessary. Like, I think it could have been used with a different joke. Personally. I don't know what different joke. But I think there's potential that if it was used with a different joke, it would have worked just as well, if not better. The fact that these monster chests are the exact same is kinda lame. Let's just attack. Bursto, Hatsudo. Like, it's totally possible to glean some meaning from words if you hear them repeated enough, just via context clues. No idea what Hatsudo means. Because it just sounds like a random noise. It could be like burst, let's go, sort of meaning. I don't think that would be surprising if its intent, Mobius, was some sort of thing like that. Upon closer inspection, you see a chessboard in the chest. You move the white rook to e4. Chestmate. Increased potency of healing items. Activates when using items in battle. HP, EP recovery multiplied by 1.5. Increase item range. Range +3. That's super cool. Like, is it good? I don't know. Is it cool? Yes. Like, having a Master Quartz tailored to item use is cool. Is it good? Doubt it. But I think it's really cool. Like, I will never use it. I know that there's a Master Quartz that I might not be able to get. I might have messed up with whatever its acquisition method is. I don't know what its acquisition method is. There's a Master Quartz that makes you absorb all arts. I hope I can get it, because I think that with 100% evasion would be pretty good. Maybe not, though. It's interesting that you can petrify these turtles that look like they're made of stone. You're all bomb. I would not, she responded flatly. No, I would not, she responded flatly. Cyril always took care to ask this, even if she rarely agreed to it. He frowned. If you don't mind, I have urgent business of my own to attend to while we're here. Alone. It's interesting. The map has this as a red chest, but it's not a red chest. Whereas, like, gray is a monster chest. Okay, no. I thought the red chests were separate. I mean, red chests are a separate type of chest, or color of chest. Because there are chests that are, like, red looking. But none of these are those. I assume it's just a case of the detection quartz is basically monster chest or non-monster chest is the coloration difference. And that's it. It's interesting that there are red chests that are red if I am not remembering incorrectly. Yeah. From above? Oh, it's these guys. Look out! They're the ones we saw. They're like the ones we saw before. It's a pincer attack. Here they come. Why? It's almost like I'm never gonna use Wazi, but because it forces you to have this, I should gear him up because he's forced to be used for some reason. I don't think that's good gameplay. Like, 99% of the game you can choose your units. And then, oh, here's this section where, nah, you have to be careful. You'll be forced to use units you don't want to. Like, it doesn't fit with the rest of the game to suddenly have to forcibly use these other characters. Like, I'm letting Wazi die. I might revive him later, but I have no reason to. It's just forcing you to use a character that you're not using is dumb. When for the entire game, as long as you don't get ambushed, it never happens. What was with them? They were crazy strong, except they weren't. They seem to be trained. You think. They're carrying swords. Of course they're trained. This is bad writing. They seem to be trained, just like the warhounds. Except they weren't hounds at all. They were felines. Could they have belonged to the Red Constellation? The creatures that we were explicitly told when we met Minith that they were owned by the Red Constellation. Possibly. Jaeger Corps are known for using military monsters. I'm pretty sure when we've encountered Minith, there was a clear connection. That could have been something I read outside, and I could just be mixing it together because the story is not well written, but... True, but Ravash's old warhounds don't hold a candle to how ferocious these were. It's almost like Ravash was not a major threat. Like, it was literally a minor threat in the grand scheme of things. Like, yes. And they seemed more coordinated, too. I find it hard to believe that pincer attack was a coincidence. I'm pretty sure normal animals understand the concept of like, surrounding people, or, well, prey. Like, real animals, I'm pretty sure do that. That doesn't need to be trained. That CD Minith character made use of them as well. Does that mean he has a red connection with the Red Constellation too? So I guess this is where that connection's made, and I just read it somewhere else accidentally. That's a good point. He could have been their supplier. Really? You think that incompetent scam artist can train cats? Either that, or financing their efforts. Why? Like, this doesn't make any sense. What is this conclusion? The Red Constellation can make money by working for the government. They don't need to work for a seedy scam artist. Like, regardless, let's thank our lucky stars we were able to defeat them. The exit shouldn't be much farther. Let's keep moving. Right. Like, why would you assume that for some reason the Red Constellation, the super competent military group, is working for the super incompetent scam artist. Like, don't write characters that are this dim. Like, sure, maybe they are working for Minith, but why would that be their first assumption and not that the Red Constellation sold some of their cats? Like, they could sell those cats for a ton of money. Easy money for them, relatively speaking, because they probably could get a ton because they're rich. It's already established they have a lot of money. They wouldn't have their boss, the person financing them, wouldn't be scamming a small village in Crossbell. Like, and if that is the actual result, then that's worse writing. Because the Red Constellation wouldn't need to be financed by someone like him. That doesn't make sense. Okay, this is that gate that we saw before that was locked. This is it. We're near the entrance to the old mine. Thank goodness. I'm glad we made it here in one piece. We still haven't found Randy though. He was here 3 hours ago. Do you really think he's that slow? We still haven't found Randy though. Where is he? Ahead. If the skirmishing hasn't started, there may be time to catch up to him yet. An explosion. It came from just outside the entrance. Exit. Exit. Except it's the entrance too. There's only one entrance. So it's the entrance and the exit, but whatever. I can also hear a firefight in the distance. Randy! We have to go. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Will we make it in time? Oh, it would be such a good story if we didn't make it in time and Randy just died. Like, they wouldn't do it, because no main important characters actually die in these stories, but it would be so interesting if Randy just died. What? No way, Commander Randolph. Disperse, avoid grouping up. Too slow. Gah. The commander hasn't lost his edge. Hey, send in the cougars. It was like... Ha, nice try, boys. Oh, shit. That's a good reaction, actually. The Red Reaper. Don't falter. Attack him in waves. Yes, attack him in waves. Instead of attacking all at once. Yes, they can't shoot a target that's standing still. You're kidding me. He's overwhelming them. I actually have to check. I can't remember if cougars... There's some specific big cat that's like... Or it's like Black Panthers don't exist. Like, Black Panthers are just... a black... like, version of a leopard or something. Yes. Like, so a Black Panther is the melanistic color variant of the leopard and the jaguar. So cougars are a proper... Yeah, obviously cougars are proper, but it made me think about how there are plenty of animals... Well, plenty. At least a few animals exist that have names that aren't actually separate. He's overwhelming them. I can hardly believe my eyes. This is what Randy's been holding back? His real skill in battle? This is lame. Well, would you look at that? Guess he didn't need our help after all. I stand corrected. This situation just got a little more hairy. What? Ha. Looking good there, Dolphy. Surely. Ooh, get grenaded. I knew you still had it in you. You're still not really my style, but I gotta admit, you were pretty cool just now. I didn't ask for your goddamn opinion. What makes you think I'd want anything to do with a man-eating tiger like you? Aw, that stings, you know? But hey, since we're already here, Why don't we have a little bit of fun? I think it's kind of weird that his gun isn't, like, red. Because as, like, the next head, why do they have a gray weapon? They should be red, to match his hair color. Damn. Yeah, thought so. You're still pretty dull after locking yourself in the shed for so long. His gun is incredibly large. Guess this is where you peak, huh? Damn it. You seriously managed to master Testarossa? Weird. I'm not the same kitten you taught way back when, Dolphy. Get that into your thick skull already. Is that the best you got, Dolphy? I was barely getting warmed up. Well, whatever. I already found myself a better playmate anyway. Screw you. Who's the better playmate gonna be? If you ask me, you should just come back and let Daddy whip you into fighting shape again. Once you get some of your mojo back, you'll finally be ready to become the next war god. But I can always take an arm and a leg for good measure first. Ugh. Randy, we totally didn't stand there for the last 30 seconds doing nothing while you were getting attacked. No way, no sir, no how. Whoa, Nelly. I mean, why is Noelle not shooting? Ahaha, not bad. This might be a nice palate cleanser after. Was one shooting there, Noelle? Lloyd? Hahaha. You're a lot saucier than you look, detective boy. Didn't anyone teach you that a gentleman doesn't force himself on a lady? This is lame writing. One glance is all I need to know that I can't hold back. I've accepted S-rank wanted monster requests less dangerous than you. What S-ranked wanted monster? Like, what kind of ranking would there be that Lloyd could take an S-rank wanted monster quest? Shouldn't the ranks coincide with the ranks of, like, bracers? So an S-rank monster would need an S-rank bracer? And Lloyd is nowhere near the level of an S-rank bracer. So, like, what is the ranking system? Haha, you got that right, sugar. Stop, get away from her. There's no way those tonfas are going to hold up. Well, obviously. Ooh, side tackle. Great. I should have known playing dirty wouldn't do much against her. Commander, Miss Orlando. You guys. Haha, okay. If you want to horse around that bad, I don't mind playing along for a bit. Ahahaha. You better show me a good time. Here she comes. Please don't force me to use Wazzy. I like Wazzy as a character, he's neat, but I don't really need him with Lloyd. They're just the front line. Fight like your lives depend on it. Though actually having two people that evade every attack would be pretty effective, probably. Let's see if they'll let me pull them in. And if so, how many of them? It actually lets me pull her in too, that's pretty good. Bursto Hatsudo. Every time. It's like, what does it mean? I do not know. I think these are the priorities to slow down. And then she's going to... Actually, I think Calamity Claw does 2 ranks of speed down anyway, so I actually probably should have done that first. Let's kill these guys. She doesn't really have great AoE damage right now. Galleon Tower. Then a Raging Spin to pull them even further away. And then Blue Drop. And another galleon tower. This one I guess center on Shirley. And then just punch her into a corner. Okay, this is 40, this is 30. Okay, these are cheaper, I might as well go with those. Shoot, I can't push her into a corner if she does that. I actually should analyze her, figure out what her... Shoot. That miss is kind of not ideal. Gotta keep the speed down going. Ooh, that hit. Oh, I know, I need to analyze. Neutral on everything. Everything else is fine. Look at all that Sepith we're gonna steal from her wallet. Okay, so I'm going to hope that he doesn't miss this time. And then hope that he doesn't miss again. Just a random team rush for some reason. I think I'm gonna tier him so he doesn't die. Pull even further into the corner. Pretty sure I might die here. But that's fine, because I don't think anyone could have avoided that. I just need to keep him alive and it'll be fine. Pant. Such a difficult fight. So, this is what it's like to fight a top-class Jaeger. No, I didn't go through all my training just to lose to her here. Again, this is one of those things where the actual gameplay... It would be much better if the gameplay matched up with the... like, story. Like, for example, the Wald fight, it's super cheap. And I don't think Wald should be the one that becomes super powerful after consuming Gnosis. He shouldn't be in control of himself because he's crazy. But they forcibly made it so that I don't think you could beat him. It auto-cut the fight at like 80% HP and had him, you know, though that one was pretty bad too. Because the only reason I didn't get one-shot by his AoE one-shot was because I had guard up, and I think the intent is you get one shot by that, and then cutscene, you can't beat him. But if you guard it, then you're good. But having the forcibly cutting it before you beat them makes the story and the gameplay match up a lot better than that was a pretty easy fight. I could have kept going for a very long time. Like, every time she S-craft, he would die, but then I could revive him, and I could use TP restore. I could have kept fighting for a very long time. So being like, oh, so difficult, doesn't match the gameplay in an effective manner. I think if they'd cut it when she hit 25% HP or something, that would have been much better. I'll hand it to you guys, I'm impressed, but only a little. That made for a decent appetizer before the main course, at least. Huh? Ah. Excuse me. Wait, they went through the path that we just came through? I mean, how is this going to be the main course? They're the CGF. They're distinctly weaker. Second Lieutenant Mirai. You came for us. This doesn't make any sense. Like, the CGF has never once proven that they're more helpful than the SSS as a group. And so they're just fodder and they're all going to die. Except Mirai's not going to die because she's a named character. You came for us. Yes, the commander received a call from your chief. The enemy force is in our sights. Move in and sweep them out. Prioritize the retaking of mines and civilian safety above all else. Yes, ma'am. They're all gonna die. Yet, I guess they chose to leave, so it's kind of meaningless. Heh. I'll catch you guys later. But don't worry, I have a feeling we'll be seeing a lot more of each other real soon. I think Shirley being an ally would be pretty funny. If, like, for the rest, next time we see her, she's a friend. That would be more interesting than her staying a villain. Not for any reason other than she's a really boring villain. Mirai, I swear, I take my eyes off you for a second and you pull something like this. We'll handle those Jaegers from here. No, you won't. You can't handle them. They're gonna go easy and they're gonna leave because they've already accomplished their mission. We'll handle those Jaegers from here. I'd appreciate it if the rest of you could make sure Randy doesn't try any more stupid stunts. Loud and clear. Consider it done. That's finally over. It's not going to be over. At last, we can take a moment to breathe. That's definitely not a flag. Randy. My name is Randy. Me sad boy. Randy. Is everything alright? You didn't get hurt or anything, did you? Lloyd, answer me one question. What in the hell were you thinking? Huh? Deserved. Randy? Randy, why? A barrier to get over. I hate barriers. Get rid of the barriers. Don't you get it? You just stepped into a war zone like it was nothing. You're not a Jaeger. Not a soldier. You've never spilled anyone's blood. I mean, neither has the CGF. They clearly don't have the competence to kill anybody. Yet you waltzed right in here. Can't you see how goddamn dangerous that was? Randy? Don't think that this excludes you, Mademoiselle, or you either, Teotot. No. And you, Noel, Wazi, you two understand the risks better than they do. I can't for the life of me get why you didn't stop them. I mean, Noel's part of the CGF. They constantly try to fight stuff they don't have a chance of actually fighting. So do you really think she understood the danger? Because the CGF consistently fights and loses. Like, I don't think there's been more than one time that the CGF has actually won a fight in Zero or Azure. They're constantly getting beaten up. Like, the CGF have never proven their competence. And Wazi is like, he knows even more than Randy. But you, Lloyd, where the hell did you get off calling yourself a leader after pulling this shit? Blah blah blah, boring writing. What in Eidos' name were you thinking? Putting your team's lives on the line at a time like this? You don't know what you're talking about? Blah blah blah, lame writing. No. I feel like Lloyd physically would be unable to pick Randy up because Randy is too tall. Lloyd? Lloyd, what are you... what is he doing? The exact same thing Randy did. This is bad writing, I think. It's so cliche. I didn't come here to risk the lives of my teammates. I came here to save one. I mean, really? See ya? Did you seriously think that little scrap of paper was going to justify you leaving her alive forever? Super cheesy. I always knew. Someone like me had no business getting close to you guys in the first place. I just want to skip this entire section because the writing is cheesy. My hands are drenched in blood. The lives I've taken, they weren't all soldiers. I didn't think twice about using an innocent village to bait our enemies. Every time I look in your eyes, I see him. Oh, that would be such a good twist if Randy killed Lloyd's brother. Oh, that would be a good reveal. It isn't, because he's definitely a villager that he killed. But if Randy killed Lloyd's brother, that would be such a good twist. The guy whose life I took away, even though he did nothing to deserve it. God, it'd be good if Randy killed Guy Bannings. This is the man you see standing in front of you. An irredeemable piece of shit. It's still so cheesy. It would make up for it so much if Randy killed Guy. It would be such a good twist. You think you're doing me a favor here? Just give it a rest already. Always looking at me with those puppy dog eyes, counting on me like I'm even worth looking up to. If you keep it up, I will feel guilty. I might end up forgiving myself, and that's something I have no right to do. Randy. Please, Randy. I don't know what to say. Then don't say anything. So that's what this is about. Ha ha ha. Man, this is a relief. Lloyd? Lloyd, what are you, like, they don't need every character to comment. I was scared you'd try to laugh this off. Crack a few jokes like always. I would have been stumped if you did. But after all this time, you finally came clean to us. Ha, baited. Ah, Lloyd. It's so lame. It's so cheesy. The truth is, we're not that different. When it comes down to it, you're just as much of a kid as we are, except he's killed people. And he's guilty that he killed a random villager. You've never killed a random villager. You've never killed anyone. All of us knew you had a heavy burden. We thought not touching on it was a respectful thing to do. So instead, we just kept relying on you without ever returning the favor. It is super lame. Indeed. He's right. Yeah, we don't need you to confirm it. Come on. I just said I don't deserve that kind of treatment. I'll agree with you on this, Randy. Your past actions, your guilt and regrets, they're all yours to carry. That's something that falls on you to come to terms with. And of course, the terms you reach may not be enough to allow you to forgive yourself. I don't know, it's unreasonable, but this entire segment feels And the moment they mention barriers, I'm gonna want to quit playing this game. But even if no one else forgives you, even if you never forgive yourself, we always will, Randy. No. If he goes out right now and killed everyone in mines, you wouldn't forgive them. You definitely would not forgive him if he did that, but he wouldn't do that, is the key point. Even if no one else forgives you, we always will, Randy. That I can promise you. That's right. Being able to forgive and accept each other is exactly what makes us a team. This is no different from when you all accepted me, even after learning of my past. Yes. It's definitely no different that they accepted the girl that was kidnapped and used as a human experimentation. That's no different than accepting someone that killed innocent civilians. It's definitely the same thing. I just think that's weak writing. I don't think they should say this is no different. They should be like, this is, I don't know, maybe not in this phrase, but like, this is basically the same as, like, no difference to forgiving. It would only be right that I pardon your transgressions, just as I do your sleazy, careless attitude. Yeah, I understand the intention here, but Tio never did anything wrong. She just had terrible stuff happen to her. Whereas Randy did do bad stuff. There's a clear difference in what they did there. But I mean, it's Tio's, I don't know, way of convincing Randy. Maybe she doesn't fully believe that there's a direct equate. They're not equated, but it's just odd. Sleazy, careless attitude. I forgive you too, of course. The weight of taking a life on the battlefield is something we, as soldiers, always have to face. But like, what scenario would she have ever killed a person? Like, she would have joined the CGF just a few years ago. I guess maybe the non-aggression treaty that doesn't apply to Crossbell might have stopped it, but I thought it was already... They haven't been actively fighting in Crossbell for a little while. So who would she have shot? Like, who would she have killed? I don't think there would have been a scenario where she would have actually killed anyone. Because, like, the setting is their defense force. They would only shoot people that attacked. And if either Calvard or Erebonia attacked Crossbell, Crossbell would have been wiped out recently. Like, with railway guns and all that. But anyway, the weight of taking life on the battlefield is something we, as soldiers, always have to face. Except for the fact that Wazi killed an innocent civilian and not another soldier. Far be it from me to give a heartfelt speech about the spirit of friendship. But the truth is that everyone piles up sins simply by living. That is to say, in the eyes of Eidos, we're not all that different, are we? I mean, he's bringing up the church for some reason. I know the reason, sort of, but... None of us can cling to the past forever, or know what the future holds. All we can do is live in the moment. Live every single day. Live like every single day is our last. And at this very moment, we stand together, in the same place and time. You're not actually in the same place. He is a few feet in front of you, and 180 degrees rotated. If that simple fact is enough to make you smile, if even just a bit little, they're also sort of not in the same time, because what you see is technically always slightly in the past. So technically, the Lloyd that Randy sees is like a fraction of a fraction of a fraction of a fraction of a second in the past, but the intent is obviously not that. If that simple fact is enough to make you smile, if even just a little, then all I ask in return is that you accept us and our forgiveness for what it is. It is so lame. Sheesh, every damn time. What did I do to deserve your cornball attempts at consoling me anyway? Do you get off on making a chump out of me? Is that it? What technically is a chump defined as? I bet there's a definition. There's no need to hold it in. I know exactly how it feels to be in your position, except once again, you didn't kill an innocent civilian. You just got abused as a child. That's very different. That's right. You once said so yourself, didn't you? Ooh, apparently chump is a transitive and intransitive word, meaning to chew or make a chewing movement. The noun is a gullible person, a dupe, or a stupid or foolish person, a dolt. I think Randy is a dolt. That's right. You once said so yourself, didn't you? The moment we joined the SSS, we were all fated to fall victim to Lloyd's sappiness. Wait, how is this my fault again? Haha. He does have a way with words, doesn't he? For all my experience as a host, I still can't compare to a smooth talker like him. I'm a murderer, a useless good-for-nothing jackass. I tried to act all tough and smart, but in the end I got curb stomped by a little girl. Even if she is a demon inside. Hell, it's amazing this little tantrum I threw didn't get us killed. Not that I won't have more down the road. Where'd his gun go? His gun was on the ground. Where did it go? Miss You. Weird song. Yet despite all that, you still don't mind? Not one bit. And that goes without saying. Bring it on. We'll always be there to pick up the slack. I mean, this happy music's gonna give way. This scene's gonna end, and then it's gonna cut to the ogre guy fighting someone important. You know what they say? Adversity builds character. Screw you, Wazzy. You squealed on me, didn't you? What the hell happened to keeping your mouth shut, you little rat? Now, Randy, you insult me. I didn't breathe a word. Lloyd and the others put in the legwork to find you, all on their own. Oh, wait a second, Wazzy. You knew Randy had left? Even before we found out? Wazzy, I don't believe you. Wazzy. You've dug yourself a new low with this one. I mean, why? He respected his wishes. Hey now, it's not as if I knew exactly where he was headed. Honestly, why do I always have to be the bad guy? He says without a hint of irony. I mean, I suggest we leave him in the mountains to reflect on this breach of our trust. Haha. Well, with that off my chest, I'm ready to get back to business as usual. Sadly, it's not going to be business as usual, because next comes Chapter 4. And Chapter 4 is the only thing after Chapter 4 is a finale, so... It's getting kind of late, but why don't we go see how Mireille and the rest are doing? They're going to be dead on the ground. They're going to be bleeding out actively. Yeah, I agree. I can only hope the Red Constellation made a full retreat from the mountain path. They're going to be bleeding out. Oh, lame. I was hoping that would instantly transition to, like, a nightmare scape of destruction and everyone just dying on the ground. Lame transition. Okay, this is always too slow. I'm happy to report that the Red Constellation has made a full retreat from the mountain path. I mean, they probably already got what they wanted. Thankfully, there doesn't seem to be any signs of looting or pillaging. That's a relief. Maybe they were here to go into the mine to harvest some pleroma grass. That's a relief. Thank goodness. That's one silver lining at least. Maybe they were here to counteract Ouroboros, and they went down and, I don't know, deactivated the septium vein or something. It's core policy not to plunder civilians unless it's absolutely necessary, and yet Randy murdered a civilian? Wow. Though, if they'd been ordered to, they would have stripped the place of everything that wasn't nailed down. Randy? Are you alright? I heard that you got a little carried away back there. No, I'm good. My rifle's going to be out of commission for a while, though. Sucks after all that trouble I went through to fix it up. That's just the lamest way to be like, nah, he's not going to switch to a new weapon. It did get a decent chunk of it broken off by the spinning blades, didn't it? Speaking of Shirley's chainsaw rifle hybrid, it would seem the Red Constellation has a very unusual preference in weaponry. Yeah, it's the kind of stuff that you can only get at a specialized workshop. Guillaume should be able to figure something out if I hit him up, though. Yeah, I'm sure he can. Let's drop it off with him first thing, once we get back to the city. I'm proud of you, Randy. You finally mustered up the nerve to pick up a rifle again. Haha, better late than never. But what's this I'm hearing? Don't tell me you were worried about little old Randy. Of course I was. If you hadn't frozen up every time you were behind a barrel, we'd still be in the CGF together. Not that I want us to be together or anything. I just wasn't sure a flake like you could work anywhere else, is all. Ha ha. She really is sweet on him, isn't she? I think Randy has taken notice of that himself. Well, Randy's clearly into her too, considering she's the only one he bought a gift for. Ahem. Yes, this is Mireille of the first unit. Copy that. Where are they now? Bum bum bum. Could I get a 10-9 on that? Presumably that means repeat, but is everything alright? Now is the time it's people bleeding out. The Jaegers who retreated have vanished entirely. Signs indicate that they took the fork in the tunnel that leads towards the ruins. The Moon Temple. Could it be that they're taking refuge inside it? No. They retreated in a super orderly fashion, which means that it was intentional. I doubt it. The barricade placed in front of the ruins shows no traces of tampering. Where in the world could they be? That area is lined with steep cliffs all around. If not the ruins, where else could they possibly even go? I mean, they could have had an airship prepared. I know that Shirley girl is anything but sensible, but this isn't adding up. I think they placed too little faith in them. I knew something was off. Thinking back, their numbers on the mountain path weren't nearly what I thought they'd be. Well, yeah, like why would they lose? What? Well, where's the ogre guy, huh? They numbered 100 strong when they came to Crossbell, and that's just lowballing it. There were only around 20 of them here in Mines. More importantly, Sigmund Orlando. I can't remember his name. Sigmund is such a forgettable name. Shirley would be lucky to call herself half the beast he is. So where the hell is the guy? Oh, we didn't think about it because we're incompetent detectives. You don't suppose... Ah, everyone look! It'd be so funny if there's fireworks. Airships? Oh no, they're burning the city to the ground? No, that's not the city. Is it the city? I guess that's... That can't be Crossbell City, though. Because if it was Crossbell City, this would be the harbor, and then the lake would be here. But there is no lake. If they call this the city, then I think they're crazy. But what? It can't be. Crossbell City. It's on fire. But like... Where's the lake? If this is supposed to be Lake Elm, I think is what it's called, but the lake... Then the lake should be here. Like, where's the lake? The lake is supposed to be right here. Because... Assuming we're, you know, Mines, which is to the north. Or it was kind of northwest, but even if it's northwest, the lake should be in this area. Directly connected to Crossbell, but it's not. And basically what I'm saying is this is not good art. Crossbell's on fire! Bad art. I think that art is kind of a letdown that it didn't appropriately capture the obvious lake component. I'm definitely not getting to First Class Detective because I've definitely missed a ton of stuff. Anyway, that's a good stopping point. I think that was... The micro-scale writing was so bad, in my opinion. Like, I really think even just one of them offhand mentioning, where is the ogre, whatever his nickname is? The red ogre? The crimson ogre? I can't remember. Like, even just Wazzy offhand mentioning that after fighting Shirley is like, I wonder where he is. But they don't have the awareness of the situation that they really should if they're super competent detectives. But they're not super competent detectives, but they're framed as though they are competent detectives when they ignore obvious things like that. Like, they really shouldn't be ignoring that. But there's gonna be a new title screen. But I'm gonna have to locate what the new title screen is eventually, but that is where I'm going to stop for today. Because it's, you know, the most appropriate stopping point. And next time it will be starting the fourth and... Well, it's not technically the final chapter because there's like a finale chapter or something. But it's the last numbered chapter will be the next one. Chapter 4 will be the last chapter with a number. It's a pretty weird fight. Anyway, that fight's there. Next will be... It'll be time for Chapter 4 next, which I will start tomorrow. I'm actually really looking forward to finishing this game. My impression is I can't imagine Cold Steel has much better writing, but I kind of can't wait to get to the Cold Steel arc, because once the Cold Steel arc's done, I'll be able to go to Reverie, which released last week, like end of last week, and then I'll be caught up, and then I won't be able to spoil, well no, I'll still be able to spoil myself if I look for it, but it'll be harder to spoil myself. Though it'll be like a year or two before the next Kuro. I don't know what Kuro is in English. But I'm stopping here. Have a good day. Bye bye.